G'day everybody, how you going today? It is so good to see you. I do hope that you are super well. Today I want to talk about lenses. What's the next Z lenses that we might be getting? I think there's just two left on the roadmap, and that is the 35 1.2 and the 135 1.8, both of which of those lenses I am ridiculously excited about. Are you excited about them? But what else is coming? I mean, there are so many lenses left. And Nikon has talked about the fact that over the next, I think, year or two, we're going to go out to about 50 lenses, which means we've got something like 9 or 10, somewhere around that, lenses that we don't know what they are when they're coming. Let's talk about it. If we look at the latest roadmap, which was released in 2023, and now it features lenses like the 180 to 600, the highly coveted lens, which we would expect to start shipping anytime. I think we're going to know very soon the ship date. It's been super duper popular. I think it's going to take a while to fulfill every order that's out there. But there are only two lenses left on the roadmap that are that yellow color that says have not been officially announced yet. The 35 1.2, we think it's a 1.2. The 135 1.8. Is it a 1.8? Might they surprise us and give us something else? I definitely do not think it's going to be a 1.2. And I still believe that Nikon aren't going to do 1.4s. I don't know why, I just think it isn't going to happen. So, 135 1.8, 35 1.2, I don't think they'll be going any further than that. And they're saying we should be out to 50 lenses in a year or so, maybe a little bit beyond that. What are the 8, 9 or so lenses that we don't know yet? What could they possibly be? It's really interesting to me, and I've talked about this with the Greys of Westminster. I've talked about this with my dear friend Raymond Parker. Joe and I, we talk about it all the time. Of course, there's the tilt shift lenses, and I own the 24mm and the 85mm. Both of those lenses are pretty old designs at this point in time. There is a 19mm. I could see a single tilt shift lens being part of that next, let's say, 12 to 18 months. I'm not exactly sure on the time frame, to be honest. 1, do I see 4? There are currently 4 tilt shift lenses in Nikon's range. They've got a 19, a 24, a 45, and an 85. I really don't see these as urgent lenses. What are the urgent lenses? And at this very point in time, I'd like you to like this video, subscribe, and also start commenting. What would you like to see? Now, there is definitely a need for more APS-C lenses. I do think, I reckon we might see some form of new APS-C camera in the next 12 to 18 months. There might be a chance of that, considering that, say, the Z50 is now 4 years old. The ZFC, I think, is around 2 to 3 years old. Now, the Z30 is not that old. I think of those 3 APS-C cameras, I think that's probably been the least popular. And it kind of makes sense because it's aimed at a niche, more the vlogger and content creator rather than the stills photographer. It does not have an EVF, so that kind of counts it out of a lot of use cases. So it's perfectly logical that it's probably the least popular. Are we going to get any more APS-C cameras? I reckon there has to be something. I sure do, which means there needs to be more lenses. Now, of course, part of the conversation around lenses is we are getting a lot of awesome lenses from third parties. I'm going to be trying out a new lens from Nissi very soon, a wide angle lens for full frame. Very exciting. Viltrox has made a lot of lenses. They've made that beautiful 75mm 1.2 for APS-C. And I think that's a cracker of a lens, and it really shows the future of third-party lenses that are not expensive. Then we recently had another announcement from Tamron, about them releasing their 35 to 150 mil zoom lens that starts at f2. That's crazy. So we're getting a lot of third-party lenses. Third-party lenses, Sigma third-party lenses, they've made some great APS-C lenses. So really APS-C has been covered nicely with that Sigma stuff. Hey Sigma, if you want to send me a couple of those, I will test them out for you. Let's do it. Tamron, if you want to send me either of your lenses, the one that you did last year and this new one, again, I'll test it out for you, no problems. Got a lot of lens opportunities, and all those third-party lenses are kind of affordable. They're kind of affordable lenses. So does that mean that Nikon might do some more mid and high-tier lenses? I mean, where are the holes in the range? I certainly think we could see more f1.2 lenses. We've got a 35, a 50, and an 85. Where else could we go? I suppose there's the potential for a 24 or a 28. I think we could get that. Depending on how big and heavy and expensive you want it to be, there's the potential for a 105 1.2. I really can't see them going beyond that, and we can see the 135 as a 1.8. I mean, anything can be made. It's just a matter of price and weight. So a 105 1.2, absolutely possible. And based on what we've got so far, could be quite likely. And another lens that everybody has talked about is wide-angle primes. Wide-angle primes that are just super high quality. And really, from my perspective, doesn't really matter if it's a 1.8 or a 1.2. I think it's more likely to be a 1.8. Right now, in the wide prime 1.8s, we are capping out at 20 mil. So there is space for 18, 16, 14, even 12 mils. And if we were going to have a bit of a gap between the 20, I'd be going to probably the 14. Because of course we have 14 in the 14 to 30 zoom and the 14 to 24 zoom. But they're both slower. One's an f4 and one's an f2.8. Imagine if we could get a 1.8. That's giving us significantly more light. And of course, if Nikon did want to do something very wide in the 1.2 range, well, there are people like me who probably get excited about that. I don't know how hard it is to make wide-angle lenses really big apertures. It's probably hard. They'll probably be enormous. I'm guessing based on the 14 to 24 zoom 2.8. I mean, they've done a great job of keeping that small, but it just gets so much bigger than the f4, for example. But tell me in the comments, if we were to get a wide angle beyond the 35 1.2 in the sequence of numbers that we currently have so far. So we've got 35, 50, 85, 35, 50, 85. Where would be best to land? Would it be 20 or 24? I personally feel like 20. Give us a bit of distance between the 35, maybe even a smidge wider, 18, 16. Somewhere in there, a 1.2, one of those. Imagine that set of 4 1.2 lens. Let's say we've got a 16. I'm just going to pick a number. A 16, a 35, a 50, an 85. And imagine we got the 105. So I do think there's a chance we might get a out of those 8 or 9 lenses that to come over the next, whatever it is, year or so. I do think we could get a wider 1.2. We might get a longer 1.2. I do think we could get a wider 1.8 and potentially another longer 1.8 besides the 135, maybe a 105. But that still gives us 5 other lenses, which really, it's a mystery to me. I'm going to put a poll down below with some lens options that might come next. Now, YouTube only give us 5 options. There are more, of course. I'll put down 5. But really, in the comments below that, if I haven't put it as one of the 5, please write in the comments below what lens would you like to see next. What would mean a lot to you to sit on your Z50, your Z8, your Z6 II, any of your Zs in between. All right, everybody, well, that's just a bit of a chat about the future of lenses. I certainly do not have a crystal ball but I'm excited because I do think we've very much got all of the basics. The Z mount not only has so many of the basics and some more in native Nikon Z, but we do really have a very wide range. There must be something between 30 and 50 third-party Z-mount lenses from Viltrox, Tamron, Nissi, Sigma, Laowa, and there's more. There's more than that. I know there's more than that. I can't remember them all right now. Let alone the fact that we can adapt lenses from F-mount, of which there are squillions, E-mount, of which there are squillions. There's no shortage of lenses, yet there are still more coming. This is so exciting. All right, do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do fill out the poll. It's been so good to see you. If this is your first time here, I'd love to see you again. So please do subscribe, please share, and please like. Bye for now.